Okay. Hey, cougar poop. I'd like to say hello to all the cougars who have been watching me on my hikes. Hope that you enjoy it. Hope you enjoy listening to me talk as I walk. Here's the location of my hike, Vancouver Island on the west coast of British Columbia. And the little red dot is the rough location northeast of the city of Port Alberni. Here is the E&N Railway's Port Alberni subdivision working its way from Parksville near the right side of the map to Port Alberni on the left side. And then the railway working its way up the coast is part of the Victoria subdivision heading up to Courtenay. And the red line is my hike. It's along 4 miles of this E&N Railway. Here's a close-in map of the location near McLean Mill and on the Beaufort slope. The red circle, that's my starting and ending point, the National Historic Site. That red circle is where I accessed the E&N at mile 29.65 at the start of my hike. Red circle bottom right is my turnaround point. That's mile 26. And 3 weeks previous, I had reached that same turnaround point from the other direction when I came in from mile 22. Way up at the top, that little red circle is the westerly extent of my hike near the end. I made it to about mile 30.2 before I left the railway. And that is the extent of my hike. The red line is on the way out, turning around at mile 26 and heading back. And then the blue line, I continue on the railway to a trestle near mile 30, and then take a different set of logging roads and trails back to the McLean Mill property. So here's a close look at the McLean Mill property and the various trails to get up to the railway. That little red circle is the parking area, start and end of my hike. That's me in the morning at 5 a.m. getting from the mill up to the railway. And that's me about 1:30 p.m. heading back down from the railway, tired, slow, getting back to the parking lot. I had a lot of fun on the hike, as I always do, and I hope you enjoy watching this video. Thanks. 5 a.m. at McLean Mill parking lot outside of Port Alberni. And it's time for me to start my hike. It's a lovely spring morning. We got some fog in the Alberni Valley. I'm just walking towards Smith Road here at the edge of the McLean Mill property. Just showing you the railway spur. It comes in to the mill. There's the McLean Mill station. There has been no train activity here since summer 2018. Hopefully it happens again sometime in the future. But I never rode that train, and I fear that I missed out on a great opportunity. I'm going to walk through the mill site and work my way up the slope to the E&N Railway. Here's the switch in the mill yard here for a runaround track. And this is where I leave the rails at the mill site and hang a right and go through the mill property. I have the old caboose under shelter there. Coming up on the left is the Buddha gasoline engine. All is quiet here at the mill site at 5 a.m. except for the birds. There's the main mill building, and beside me the various housing for the mill people. This is a National Historic Site, restored. And again, I fear that I've missed the opportunity from a few years ago when they were doing full mill demonstrations of running the machinery. I think I've missed that by a few years. straight ahead, the slope is the western slope of the Beaufort Range. That's what I'm walking towards, and just a little ways up on the slope is the E&N Railway as it gains elevation when it leaves the Alberni Valley. That's the view that I'm after. Okay, I'll see this scene again at the end of my hike. I always get a big kick out of those gas pumps there. Wow. I get a big kick out of everything that's over here. Here's where they would do steam logging demonstration shows. Looking back at where I came from. And let's keep going towards the Beaufort slope. The last time I was here was mid-February, so 3.5 months ago. So I get the nice spring growth of the grass. I break out into the old cut block. So the Beaufort slope in front of us. There's where I've come up from, the barn through there. A few hints of fog, but not as much as I was hoping for. And I go up there. So I cross this little logging road, and straight ahead is my connector trail that takes me to the log train trail. Here's where the trail goes into the woods. Here I come up to the intersection with the log train trail. Goes from left to right. I go to the right and then almost immediately head up the slope. Alright, so I go up to the left. Up there. Here's the trail up to the Beauforts. Railway's way up there. That's where I came from. Still got a ways to go. Okay. That's what I crossed. Okay, keep going up. I'm less than 5 minutes away from the railway. I like it when I've been somewhere before, so I know roughly how long it takes, and it helps prevent the mind games of "are we there yet?" which I can find discouraging. Here's the part where I'm essentially walking up the creek. When I was here in February, it was a lot more runoff. That comes from right here. And I'm just about at the railway. Just around this corner. Alright. That was a good climb. And this still is a great way to get up to the E&N. So here's the railway. And I'm going to turn right as railway eastward. This is about mile 29.65. I figured it out last time. This is almost the month of June, so it's the height of the growing season. A bit delayed this year because of a colder spring. Okay, so about 5:45 a.m. and I'm on the railway. Happy to be here. So right here is a rock cut. It's overgrown, but on both sides. And this is the scene of a photograph that I really enjoy, taken by Mike Dunham Wilkie in 1971 when they were on a dayliner excursion. So what happened is, back then, the E&N passenger dayliner from Victoria to Courtenay didn't run on Sundays. So that gave an opportunity for the Wanda Fuca Railway Club to charter it on a Sunday and take it from Victoria all the way to Port Alberni. And so on one of those trips in 1971, one of the Mr. Wilkies took a lot of photographs. And there's one where he's up there looking that way with the dayliner stopped, but as if coming towards him. And so I'm mindful of that photograph as I am here in the same spot. The interesting thing about that photograph is it captures a moment in time, because in the background was work being done filling in an old trestle. And 1971 was the year when 4 old trestles were eliminated. 3 of them were detoured around, and 1 was simply filled in, and that's the one I'm coming up to. It's kind of in a straight stretch after this curve. But Mr. Wilkie would have been up there on the rocks, and of course there'd be a lot less tree overgrowth, so the sight lines would be good. The interesting thing is the work crews basically created a work area beside the track where it was level and they could store equipment and materials. And that work area is still evident because it's just a flat built up area, and even though it's growing in with trees, you can sure tell that something was there. And I like those kinds of places where there's the evidence that a project was happening here, and it's coming up here on the left hand side. By the way, this is just such a beautiful area right here. Through here on the left, it's a lot of area where that's where they did the work. So it's just flat, lots of young trees in there, young as in 50 years old, but that's where they would have built up their equipment. And now I'm on the straight stretch between the curves, with ahead of me the curve going to the left. So this would be the old trestle filled in. This one, as you can see, was just a straight trestle, so no curve, no ravine, no creek, just a drop off of the land. Coming up to the track culvert, and this time I know it's coming before I see it, because, as I like to say, I'm gaining familiarity with the area by coming here multiple times in the year and remembering the order of the landmarks. Up ahead you can see there are some problem trees, easy to get around. So this is the track culvert. An interesting solution. It's like piano keys. Here's the creek falling down the side, contained there. And then runs through. Nice and simple. And runs down. And each of these is just concrete that goes all the way down. So it's supported just like normal railway. What a neat structure. They call it a track culvert. This is the only one on Vancouver Island that I am aware of. It's about mile 29.2 or so. I love playing around here. But, time to move on. Alright, so here are the trees bowing in honor. And some work done cutting them, but this is easy to walk around right here because the bit of spare rail area gives a good pathway. You can see these trees are not cut, they're just pushed right over. The snow was that heavy, lingered for a long time. Yeah, this is easier than last time I was here. I am curious if there's a lot more windfalls. We had a really bad windstorm a week and a half ago, so middle of May. I'm gonna go around this way. Yep. Tangled mess, but easy to get around. These windfalls here are more recent. I'll go this way. Best way is to go around on the down slope, I think. Yeah. And get back to the railway. That was fun. If I come back this way, oh yeah, that's the smarter way. Down there, duck under and through. I eventually find the best way, usually by trial and error. And finding out the best way is the way I didn't take. Okay, maybe this is it for the obstructions. And here it opens up nicely right at mile 29. I know the post is around here somewhere. There it is. Really, I can see it. I love this area. And then of course for photography, just the different seasons, to see the same scene in different seasons. And so for here, I was here in October with a lovely leaf color. I was here in February with bare trees, so a lot more visibility and foggy winter fog. And now here in late spring. So this is gorgeous. This is the mile 28.9 bridge. This is a bridge. It's really simple. It's beams on concrete pillars. A series of concrete pillars that just go across, and the beams rest on them. There's nothing trestle-y about this at all. It's just a bridge. And this next section of about a mile has some really lovely canopies of maple trees. So maple trees overhead, obviously really gorgeous in the autumn with all the colors. And now it's just going to be all this beautiful green overhead, giving me a rooftop of leaves. So I love this area. This is kind of set up for a dog agility course. do some hurdles. What lovely lighting in the morning here. And I've noticed 2 instances now of cougar scat. Not a surprise, this is cougar country. The entire Beaufort slope extending to Cameron Lake. And they see you way more than you see them. That's an example of the work. Limbs taken off the trees, the push down trees cut off. Thank you to people that carry saws with them. Appreciate you. And just the encroachment of the standing trees means that I've been hit in the face a number of times already with spider webs. This is the kind of beautiful scene I like. Other than this, the broom is not good. I brought some snips with me, so I'll snip the occasional bit that's encroaching on the track so it doesn't get worse this year, like this one. This morning has this nice west coast damp, cool feel to it, and this type of area sure enhances it. In the shade, lots of grass growth. It's because it's moist soil, and it just feels so refreshing to walk through this. Wow, I enjoy this. Well, I've had some good success cutting back some branches that are encroaching on the sight lines, and any little small broom plants I can find. A little bits over time make a difference, such as right up here. Time to make a difference here. Okay, that's better. Yeah, that one gave way. Again, thankful for the people with the saws that cut through, make a difference. Oh, it's beautiful. And more easy walking, maybe. Here's a fairly growing in area. Again, the damp soil sure helps through here. I'll do a bit more snipping. There's a grease box. As I get closer to mile 28, I think. And mile post 28 up here on my right. Oh, I can hear the moving water. Oh, I love that. Okay, quarter hike done. There's so much to see and enjoy on this lovely morning. This is the 4th year that I've been doing railway walking. These last 2 years have been more so seeing familiar scenes in different seasons and just going out for the enjoyment of the experience. And that's what today is like. Just a beautiful day for a walk. I love this stump here, quite picturesque. Fell from above a couple years ago. 3.5 months ago here, I took a fabulous photograph. I like it, at least. Looking this way, where the fog in the morning sun was just amazing. I'll show it to you. Here's the never-ending Rockslide area. It just keeps happening and happening. Some good people have been here over the years, in the 20 years after the train stopped running, to keep this area clear. But it's just a never-ending task. That's the reality of this kind of area of railroading. Oh, that's beautiful. I've got really nice light here at this rock slide. So let's do some wide angle video with my phone. Okay, let's keep my walk going on here. Working my way down towards mile 27. I always like the moss, light colored moss in this area. I always like to say when I come by here that just down here is the trail where I came up the first time I ever visited here. And that was about 3 years ago. It seems so long ago, those first times I came exploring up here. Everything was new. I was just excited to check various bridges and trestles off my list. Missed a lot of obvious interesting things that I've now come to notice and enjoy. Nice drop off here. Nice straight tangent. Most tangents are straight. And I think I'm about mile 27.5. Something like that. Oh yeah, I hear the creek. So this is the creek that the trestle used to go over. Trestle crossed over the gully through there over 50 years ago. And trees grow, so it's hard to see the path. On the other side of the gully, the original grade is very obvious, and I like to duck into it because it's a little rock cut of its own, and I'll show you when I get there. I'm in the rock cut, the new one. So on the right is that really tall rock. Well, on the other side of that, the other side of these rocks here, is the original grade. And I'm going to walk into that in just a few moments. Now I've come at these from the other direction. I'm going to switch to my camera phone with wide angle. Oh yeah, this is better. Through there is the original grade. I love this moment always coming in here. It's the big rock. So this is where the trains would have gone before summer 1971. Straight through here, so rock, more rock piled up. And then at the end of this would be the start of the trestle going across. And now just a steep drop off. Going across there. Oh, look at that view. Lovely rural neighborhood outside of Port Alberni. I love that. That's some of the old woodwork for the approach to the trestle. So there's where the grade would have gone. Get the trees out of the way here. Down there. I love pieces of woodwork like this that still exist. Part of the abutment for the trestle. That's the word I couldn't think of before. Trestle went across there. Alberni Valley. Oh, look at the lovely barn. Lovely. Alright, finished up here, took a little break, changed batteries on my camera, drank some coffee. So again, if we were a train before 1971, we're going through here after getting off the trestle and heading eastward. This is mile 27.3. Alright, back to the friendly confines of the railway. Let's go east. Because the area behind me that I just left was the site where a trestle was dismantled and the grade rerouted in 1971, coming up on the left is an area where they had leveled off the area, cleared it, and used it to store and stage equipment and materials. And that's right in here. An obvious cleared area at one time, close enough to the project. I love this area. I love so much of this area. But yeah, right here, it opens up the view. The railway goes straight, gets to the hydro line, curves around, and then goes to the right. And then it goes around another hill, eventually getting to the Alberni summit. I've still got just over a mile to go, ending up over there. But first, a photo. I'm so pleased with this morning. It's weather is just, again, that refreshing cool, but not cold. And the sky, those clouds are just preventing the sun from ruining my photography and video. I'm thankful for that. The railway grade is a fairly smooth 1.5% gentle upgrade, but the terrain beside it is not. And so I now find myself in another rock cut. And then soon I'll have the slope beside the track just dropping off sharply. And then again, just changes so much. At this spot, I'm very near milepost 27. The post is missing, but I know the area is right around here. And down here to the right is the car, not the rail car, automobile. And here is the Forest Service Road. More overgrown than last time I saw it. It's the old crossbuck. So this is just a short into the woods part here, and then I will be at the hydro line. Here's the hydro line. This is how the electricity gets to the Alberni Valley, and then also to Fino-Ucluelet. Goes across there, probably near Horn Lake, and meets and is taken off the BC Hydro's Vancouver Island trunk line. Okay, we got some broom plants to snip. I'll do some work there as I work towards mile 26. Lovely sound of a creek coming up on an area with steep drop-offs on either side. Oh, this is so beautiful here. The sound. There's a bit more bear scat, reminding me that bears come through here, as well as cougars and people like me. So for the next while, this is the tree tunnel, Evergreen Alley. It's nice to motor on through here. Yeah, just enjoying the walk now. I'm coming up to mile 26. My turnaround. I'm happy. It's been lovely coming out. Okay, I've reached my turnaround point, mile 26. I was here about, we'll say 3 weeks ago. I'll show you a photograph from 3 weeks ago and then one from now. Okay, time to leave here and head on back westward. Start my inbound leg of my hike. I did some landscaping here to make the sign more visible. Even if I'm the only person who sees it here, who understands the railway signs, that's okay. I think I'm going to do the same thing to the other milepost signs that I see as well. I like this cool area, very comfortable for walking. Every once in a while I come across a broom plant. Oh yeah, this is actually pretty interesting walking through this evergreen alley. I mean, the sight lines are horrible, but on either side of me is a steep drop off. So this is a filled in area. And I'm coming up to the BC Hydro road here. Looking back, the electricity lines. Here's the Forest Service Road. Coming back to mile 27, no post, but instead of a post, we have the Port Sub car. Here comes a view to the Alberni Valley and industry through there, the mill. I'm hopeful that one day soon the mill will become a customer of the railway again. They were the last big customer, and it makes sense for them to be a customer again. The railway leads to the mill. That's the thing about me walking this railway, is it's not just imagining the past, but it's imagining the future. Yeah, I love that rock face. It's really beautiful. Because I can't resist this location, I gotta see it one more time, even though I just saw it an hour and a bit ago. It's always my favorite. Yeah, just look how gorgeous this is in here. Got some low cloud there. I think I'm gonna get the misty rain for the next while. And let's go back to the main grade now. Okay. Here's the creek at mile 27.3, formerly crossed by a big trestle. So we got a steep drop off right here. And we got a big rock face bluff right here, going around the corner. Oh yeah, a rock face. Yeah, I call this a bluff. It's just a big rock outcropping. And the railway skirts it by going around. And here comes the part that's trouble, just around the corner of this. You'll see what I mean. Oh yeah. Comes down that chute and ends up here. Right down here. The color of that arbutus limb is just beautiful. Wow, I like this scene. What a beautiful scene. It's a grease box up ahead. When I came by earlier this morning on the way in, it was open and I kicked it closed. Look at the trail of grease all the way to here. And I originally thought, well, maybe this is a burn mark. And I just examined the tree carefully, and no, it's just really slick with the grease. So what happened? My hypothesis is that because the grease box was open, an animal got their foot into it, which was all greasy, and walked this way and basically continued walking through there with greasy feet, which made everything else greasy. And maybe tried to rub off the grease right there. Who knows? That's just a theory. There's the tamper rail and flange lubricator. Okay, here is that beautiful place. Okay, let's make the mile 28 coast visible.
Love what you're doing.
Bit of landscaping. I got a bit of the broom done.
On your reel, yeah. It's
Yeah, I have fun. I work my cameras and basically vlog and pretend
nice.
I'm.
You must be low light Mike then.
I am.
Yeah. Yeah. You have beautiful, beautiful photos. I love it.
Okay, saying goodbye to the waterfall and the nicely visible mile 28 sign, or at least better. Visibility has improved. Oh yeah. Here's the mile 28.9 bridge. Okay, let's cross this bridge now that we've come to it. Spectacular scene in autumn. Places like this are my motivation to do this same hike in mid-October. That's beautiful. Coming up very soon is the mile 29 post, and I'm going to do some landscaping at this post to make it more visible. Okay. Now that I've done some landscaping at mile 29, let's see what the view is like. I have a feeling it's going to be better from the other end. Yeah. Oh yeah. Much better. Look at that clear view. I'm really happy with my work here. As I back up down the track. But yeah, here's the fun scene. Yeah, that's the bank that erodes, gives way, and the trees just fall over. So it'll continue to do that, I think. There's more trees to come down. I'm going to go there underneath and crawl. That's the plan. Well, I got under that guy, and then I stood up and forgot about that guy. Alright, let's just get through. I'm almost at the track culvert, so that's my reward for this junk. That worked so much better than my morning route, which was around there, around the outside. Lots of climbing over branches. I'm through. That's the good thing. Okay, let's go find that elusive track culvert that I keep talking about. But we look back at where we came from and give thanks. Yeah, nice. Oh, the reward. until next time. Cute little structure. Here comes the Rockslide area. You can tell it's an unstable slope that erodes and the rock falls. More rocks will come down, and that big tree will come down. Just a matter of time. Such a beautiful spot here. This is one of my favorite areas. Yeah, Mr. Wilkie would have been up there on that day in 1971. I came stumbling up here this morning. Yeah, it's a good trail. It's the second time I've done this hike where I've come up from there, and I'm definitely going to keep doing it that way. It works really well. I can see part of the trestle ahead. It's the fire barrel platform that I can always see first. It's sticking up. It's dark wood, so I always think it's a bear first. Okay, this tree's pushed over. Gives a blind view of the trestle. We'll see what kind of shape it's in. This one's got a really rough deck. Lots of decaying ties. It's also really beautiful. The texture of the wood combined with the moss is really nice. Gaps and ties. Yeah, this is nice. It's ugly in terms of condition, but nice in terms of just the beauty of an old structure. That's why I love it. So I'm down below the structure because I dropped my lens cap and I can see it straight ahead between bents 3 and bent 4. Bent number 3, bent 4 and 5. There's my lens cap. Wow, that's beautiful. Well, in some ways I'm glad I dropped my lens cap and I was able to find it easy and experience this. All right, back up on the deck now. This is the only fire barrel on a trestle on the Port Alberni subdivision. There's a lot of barrels lying below the trestles on various ones that I've seen. All right, till I see you again. Yeah, mile 30. There's the sign. Time to do a bit of landscaping. Oh yeah, that's good. And now I'm heading westward. It's the ATV trail going up slope, and it parallels the railway here, and then it goes down, and that's where I'm going. Okay, I'll leave the railway here. Look at all that broom up ahead. That's brutal. Intersection up ahead. If I go straight, that will eventually connect to Smith Road. And then left and right, you can't see the right yet, is the log train trail. And I'm going to go left. Oh, look how flat and straight it is. That's because it was the Alberni Pacific Lumber Company Railway. And I came from up there. This is the time of my hike when I'm tired and sore, but happy. Eight hours ago at 5:30 a.m. I came to this spot. Straight up through there, up the slope, is the trail to the Beauforts, which took me to the railway. Okay, bye-bye log train trail. Ah, the grass is nice here in the hay slough. That field is nice. And now it's raining. Oh yeah, I love that scene. Let's go back to the McLean Mill station where I started this hike.